All right, now we're back for example 4 in section 5.5. Let's do a full binomial example so we can kind of make sense of that scary looking formula. So a spam filter is binomial because it's spam or not, and then in a weird way, spam is my success because we want to catch it. So spam caught would be my success, not caught would be a failure. So those are my two choices, and then we're repeating it 12 times. So hopefully we can see why this is binomial. So let's go ahead and plug into that kind of intimidating formula. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste it so we can peek at it. So we went over this in the last video. Oops. There we go. So we're going to look at the probability that it catches 10. Let's shrink that a little. Okay. So we're going to do the probability of 10. And so there's 12, and we want to figure out how many ways we could catch 10 of them. So maybe it catches the first 10, misses the last 2, right? It could miss the first 2, catch the last 2. There's lots of different ways this could happen. The probability of it catching spam is 90%, and it's going to catch 10 of them. And then Q will be 1 minus. So that would just be 10% of the time it's not caught. And so if it catches 10 out of 12, that means 2 of them are not caught. For me, I find the formula n minus x kind of confusing. In my head, I'm just like, if it catches 10, it didn't catch 2 of them because it's out of 12. So hopefully that helps a little. So I like to think of it in words a little bit more than in formula form. I find this version of it a little bit easier. So we had 10 successes, so 12 failures. 2 failures because it was 12 total. Okay, so let's figure out how to type this on the calculator. So I can type everything at once, which makes it easier when you have to do it over and over and over, because the most tedious part is just on the calculator. So I'm going to type the 12 from the NCR, math, probability, NCR 10. And then rather than hitting enter, I'm just going to type everything at once. So I'm going to do times 0.90 to the 10th power, and then times 0.10 to the 2nd power. Enter. So there's a 23% chance, 2301, that it catches exactly 10 spam emails. So I really recommend typing it all at once because you'll see in part B why. So let's find the probability of at least 10 emails caught. We tend to use the letter X for the variable. The downside of binomial is you have to do the formula for every single number. So at least 10 means the probability of 10 plus the probability of 11 plus the probability of 12. And we stop at 12 because there's 12 total trials. Luckily, we already found 10, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that number down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the formula for 11 and 12. And once you've done it once or twice, I promise it's very similar. So it's going to be 12, and then instead of choose 10, it's going to be choose 11. The probabilities remain the same, but now we have 11 successes or 11 caught, right? And so if 11 are caught, then 1 is not caught because it's out of 12. And then we'll do it for 12 because we did at least 10, so that means 10, 11, or 12 are caught. So we do 12, choose 12. And then the probabilities stay the same. It's still 90 and 10, but now we have 12 of them are caught. So think about it. If all 12 of them are caught, how many are not caught? 0. So that's good. That's what we want. We want them all to be caught, right? Because it's spam email. So you can retype everything, or if you do second enter, this is why I typed everything at once, I can just change the powers. So I can change it to 11 and 1 and then change the NCR to 11. So second enter, it's not necessary, but it saves you time. Otherwise, you have to just retype everything. So we get let me match the colors. 0.37, and then that'll be 66. So second enter is really nice. So we'll do second enter again, and then I can change it to 0 and 12. So second enter is your best friend in this. And then we get a chance of 2, 8, 2, 4. Another thing is when you're doing 12, choose 12 is just 1. Anytime you're making a group out of 12 people and you have to use all 12 people, there's only one way to do this. And then if you remember, anything to the 0 power is also 1. So technically when you have a 0, you can just type this one, 0.90 to the 12, and I'd get the same answer. But it doesn't matter. If you type the whole thing, the calculator knows. And so this only works for the case where you're using everything. So 12 out of 12, 7 out of 7, 8 out, whatever your numbers are. And so let's go ahead and add everything together to find at least 10. So it'll be 0.2301, because don't forget we had to include 10 also, which we did above. 0.3766, and then we have 0.2824 from the last one. So the chance of it catching at least 10 emails would be 8891. Pretty good, and that's because it's 90% chance, so it's catching most of them. And then here's kind of a tricky one. If we want to do less than 10, we have to do the chance of catching 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right, all the way through 8 and 9. I don't want to do the formula that many times, so I think in this case the opposite would be easier, right? Subtract 10, subtract 11, and subtract 12. So sometimes we do opposites. And then what's amazing is we literally just found this number, so we can just do 1 minus what we just found. So sometimes it's easier to do the opposite if you're using the formula too many times. So think about that. If you're using the formula a lot, just take a second to think, would the opposite be faster? So in this case, less than 10, I would use the formula for 0 through 9. That would take me forever. So finding 10, 11, and 12, especially because we already did, it was a little bit quicker to subtract. So I think the positive of binomial is it's very repetitive. The negatives are the formula is a little scary looking and the calculator is tedious. So take advantage of that second enter. And I do think the formula gets better as you do a couple more because it'll start to feel repetitive. So we have one more in example 5 in video. So you'll see that in the next video.